second and just left me carry his dog for a few minutes and then came back and was like, thanks. All right, best of 7, LIN Gaoyuan to start. Deceptive topspin. Can't ask for much more in your first 2 serves, 2 outright points for LIN Gaoyuan. Now earlier today, he beat Marcos Freitas 4 games to 1, looking very fast. When I say fast, I mean also he's very compact in his strokes. He manages to generate a lot of power with his backhand in the counter game. His timing is so good. Now Timo Boll with spin variation and placement, very experienced player. He's going to have his work cut out here, but this time catches LIN Gaoyuan turning the corner early. Ooh, completely off the top of the net there, throwing Timo Boll's rhythm off. Look at this one more time. Backhand, decides to try and stay with the backhand. So the score now 1-5, first towel break. Again, LIN Gaoyuan leading 5 points to 1. Trying for the longer serve to go deep to the backhand. Service error there. And still trailing by quite a bit, but a big point here for a little bit of momentum for Timo Boll, a little bit of encouragement early on. Slow start for the German legend. But that tends to be the trend. Earlier today he was down 4-9 and I guess 5-10 against Gustavo Tsuboi and came back to win game 1. I saw it against Omar Asar as well at the Czech Open earlier this year against Harimoto in China. Perfect placement, LIN Gaoyuan jamming up Timo Boll at the back of the table to stop the comeback streak. I joked with Timo earlier, said, do you just like letting the opponent getting some advantage in game 1? Let them have a big lead so that they get a little bit calm or overly confident? And the backhand from the middle of the table, he's threatening on both sides. Timo Boll's backhand. Go back when you're done with today, watch the 2005 Wang Liqin match, the final with Wang Hao. Timo Boll's backhand just world class. LIN Gaoyuan not bothered by the long push, keeps his balance well, gets the opening attack, now leading 8-4 at the second towel break of the game. The receive game of LIN Gaoyuan has been so consistent. Timo Boll can generate a lot of underspin on his reverse pendulum serve. Sets up a lot of good third balls with his serve. But it seems that in terms of receive, the coin has been flipped. It's Timo Boll who has a little bit more trouble with LIN Gaoyuan serves right now. Despite of a bit of a streak with Timo coming back earlier on, it's now 6 game points for LIN Gaoyuan. Beautiful angle change. Very flexible wrist to play corner to corner like that from so deep behind the table. At least the bounce right at the baseline, 1 game point saved. Serve drifts a little too long. LIN Gaoyuan's right there with the opening attack. Game 1, 11-5 for LIN Gaoyuan. We'll be back for game number 2 right after this.
From the Netherlands, 1-0, LIN Gaoyuan.
Back for game number 2. Timo Boll trailing in red, LIN Gaoyuan in blue, leading right now. Now, Timo Boll's the 3rd seed in this tournament. World rank number 5, LIN Gaoyuan, 6th seed. Now, one thing a lot of players ask, well, not players so much, but yeah, not professional players, will ask, what's it like feeling the Chinese players' loops? The trajectory, how does it come off of that forehand Chinese rubber? We'll say there's a lot more weight behind the ball. It's a heavier rubber, a little tougher to carry, but the physical training and conditioning on the Chinese national team, they're able to play the ball with a little more open face of the racket, which increases their likelihood of contact. The arc of the ball is a little bit different.
3 left.
And also the players recover very well from loops that have less spin. Some coaches will call them no spin loops. Timo Boll's shoes there. Very recognizable shoes. But a tight serve brings in Timo Boll. The backhand received does not come down, and not a point yet for Timo Boll. Now, if these two hadn't played head-to-head before, you would imagine Timo Boll having a decent chance to win this match. And it's definitely still possible. But the last time they played, 4-1 for LIN Gaoyuan in Japan. It's pretty rare to see Timo Boll that frustrated. First point, he's on the scoreboard. So the first towel break of the game, and we will see Timo Boll has to be one of the busiest players on the planet right now, between all the different deals he has, all the different teams he's playing for. Surprise placement, waits, very patient. Now this is when wrist strength and confidence can both come in handy. Timo Boll waits to see LIN Gaoyuan starting to move and plays it the other way last moment. It started to feel like a blowout of a game. Again, this is the beauty of the 11-point game. Turnarounds come so quickly. Plot twist, it's tight. From 5-1 to now a 2-point game. Well placed, open face of the racket right into the elbow. Wow, all those backhands tucked and ripped from the middle. Timo Boll with 3 in a row, changing up, having to move to get his backhand into position for these shots in a finishing forehand. So it's 2 from pretty much the same spot. In this bird's eye view, you could see it was the 3rd backhand where he had to move out to the middle a little bit more before committing to the forehand. So the net, the edge of the table, Timo Boll pointed. I don't think LIN Gaoyuan knows he got the table yet. Look at this, sportsmanship, world class. To be one of the best players in the world and still tell a complete room where nobody realized the ball touched the table. The right thing by Timo Boll. Second towel break of the game, really. I mean, doing the right thing should be just the standard, and for Timo Boll it clearly is, but it's so easy when a point means so much for you and nobody else notices. To just sort of wait and see if anyone else noticed. Not Timo, just pointed.
5-8.
Second service error so far this match, 1 per game that I can recall. Both the same, looking like trying to go long to the backhand.
Let's 5-8.
Although because it's backspin, it might just come into the net a little fast, be a half-long serve cross court.
8-6.
The hands of Timo Boll so soft. Just touches the ball from the side to keep it inside the table, deterring LIN Gaoyuan's third ball. Has to stop him short there. Oh, heavy spin makes up for a serve that comes off the table. Timo with the opening attack attempt, but the ball does not come down. It's been a real chase throughout this game. From 1-5, Timo BOLL started making his way back in. This serve is outstanding. LIN Gaoyuan starts to move. You can see he wants to take the backhand from over the table. Timo BOLL keeps him in check, says, nah, I don't think so. Back up. Get back to that backhand corner. Extra spin, but well countered. LIN Gaoyuan keeps the racket closed to stay on top of it. Now has 2 game points. Look how spinny this opening third ball is from Timo. Sits up just a little bit. Timo starting to move to cover the wide forehand. LIN Gaoyuan plays it more into the body and it earns him the point. Timo BOLL still alive, saves a game point. Real question for a lot of the up-and-coming top Chinese players is how will they handle pressure on the international stage? We've seen Timo BOLL doing it for a good 2 decades now. Middle of the table here for the serve. Oh, a little break off the top of the net, and Timo BOLL ties it up. All right, and the crowd getting into it. We hear LIN Gaoyuan Jiao and some Aufgets Timo quite quickly here. Excellent serve, and he gets a third ball just to choose where he wants to go. Blasts it for the points. 3 points in a row, 2 game points saved, and now 1 of his own. Timo BOLL, look at this serve. Looks like mostly side spin. That subtle topspin gets the ball popped up. LIN Gaoyuan with the serve against game point. Again, in near the middle of the table. Oh, pulls him right back. Timo BOLL going for a push and popping it up deep. Pretty close to the back edge of the table. Top of the net and out. LIN Gaoyuan now, another game point, his 3rd game point. I feel like if you're watching now, you're watching at an excellent time because LIN Gaoyuan is at that pivotal point in the career where the world knows who he is now. Chinese national team is wondering how strong he is under pressure. This is madness! Unbelievable point. LIN Gaoyuan saving it, running it down, and not just keeping it in play, but countering it back with side and topspin hooking. And Timo BOLL seems ready for almost every single one of them. But the final shot from behind the table, and a frustrated Timo BOLL wants to kick the ball as he couldn't make it in that outstanding rally. Another game goes to LIN Gaoyuan. It's a 2-0 lead for the young Chinese player, and we'll be back for game number 3 right after this. number 3, LIN Gaoyuan with a narrow escape in game 2 despite dominating in game 1 11-5. Some different questions here on the table for game 3. Timo Boll still focused. Again, to come back from down 8-10 and earn game point, but not put the game in the bag. Leaves Timo Boll with, say, a little bit more desire, a little bit more fuel in the tank. So fast. You can hear the sound of the contact, that clicking sound, the high pitch right off the bounce from that backhand. Wow. One bounce on Timo's side and right back over the net. You got breaks and then you've got a shot that looks like a trick shot. Timo Boll off balance from below the table, gets back in this point and then starts the looping pattern. And he's got LIN Gaoyuan blocking. Timo Boll has such variety in his shots. Combinations of side and top on his backhand. It's going to be very difficult if LIN Gaoyuan plays a more passive game. Nice change, a little bit more parallel, closer out on the forehand side from Timo Boll. That backhand out to LIN Gaoyuan catches him, freezes up the footwork a little bit. Again, the element of surprise can really take away the power from the opponent. Touch shot, keeping it low enough, even as fast as the feet are of LIN Gaoyuan. He's not able to get in before the ball is dropped. First towel break of the game, and we've got a good-sized crowd here. Not too many open seats. Best seats all filled here, and a lot of vocal crowd members, a lot of fans here from all over the world.
4-3.
Break off the top of the net, LIN Gaoyuan apologizing. Now remember, this isn't any tournament, not just any tournament for Timo.
3-5.
He's already won the Men's World Cup twice over Kongling Hui, Grand Slam champion in 2002. And over Wang Liqin, Ma Lin, and Wang Hao in the final right here in Liege in 2005. Oh, you want this one to come in. What a rally. As fast as LIN Gaoyuan takes these shots off the bounce, Timo still manages to keep it in play. Not just keep it in play, counter with the backhand. Not too often we see Timo Boll chop. Oh, burned. Turn the corner quickly, I dare you. Try to fool me. Testing Timo Boll does not pay off for LIN Gaoyuan here. So a 2-point lead for Timo now with 2 serves on his racket.
7-4.
That reverse pendulum serve causing some trouble. The opening backhand receive of LIN Gaoyuan. Deep on the table into the body. Timo Boll having to rock back, not able to keep his weight forward as he spins that ball. Watch the placement on this receive. Timo Boll might have been prepared for a cross-court shot. Again, that surprise factor. LIN Gaoyuan avoiding the backhand, but still getting a weaker shot out of Timo. Excellent touch in the short game. Again, the soft hands. Timo's got a lot of skills. Feels like about a year ago, fans were starting to ask, are you considering retiring? They saw some trouble with his body. A few injuries here and there. Wasn't giving the results that he was used to. And then he comes out here playing like this. He comes back the next year And there's no question 2017 has been an outstanding year for Timo Boll. I wouldn't be surprised if he's nominated for the ITTF Star Awards Male Player of the Year. Six-time European champion, Olympic team silver medalist.
9-6.
Now for me, this is a must-win for Timo Boll. This game right here. This is the thorn in the side of LIN Gaoyuan that could be the opening for Timo Boll to get in. Oh, has the opportunity. Inside out forehand flip, just long. No timeout called yet. And we have to remember it is LIN Gaoyuan who has the serve. Sometimes coaches don't want to give the timeout to the person starting the rally. Kick serve on the reverse pendulum finds the edge of the racket, and there's got to be a timeout here. Sure enough, there is. Timo Boll taking his time. 3 points in a row from up 9-5. Again, the tables are high quality, very grippy on the surface, especially when it comes to the push game. Players have noticed the ball staying shorter, but the same can be said whenever there's top and side spin. There's going to be a greater kick on the ball. There are the feet and legs of LIN Gaoyuan. Just amazing how fast the feet are. Watching LIN Gaoyuan play Yan'an just earlier this year, Austrian Open final. He was so quick, so fluid and efficient. Yan'an has been playing quite well at his international tournaments in the last year. I think won the Hungary Open at the start of this year. A lot of fans in China joked that LIN Gaoyuan was playing for Yan'an's eyebrows. That if he won the match, he would get the eyebrows of Yan'an. Still has his own out here, of course, and now within 1 point of Timo Boll with his second serve. We'll see how the timeout affects Timo Boll's game tactically. He's on the receive here. Serve comes just long enough that Timo gets the first swing, but it was an uncomfortable one. Contacted just wide. Oh, it was called a let? Interesting. All righty. Players don't seem to disagree. Let service.
9-0.
And now the point really does go to LIN Gaoyuan. That signature serve, we see a few Chinese players doing a similar motion where they bring the racket up over the head. Zhang Jike, Fang Zhendong, I think Liang Jingquin as well, and LIN Gaoyuan. And the crowd getting behind the players. The European crowd here in Belgium wanting to see the European legend move on. Chinese fans, no question about their loyalty. A good serve here, the reverse pendulum short to the forehand side. Timo Boll with the game points. It wasn't enough in game two. Let's see if he can make up for that here. A longer serve and a backhand to the middle. Timo Boll is in with his first game. He's on the scoreboard. 11-9 takes game three, and the plot thickens. The European legend of Germany, it's Timo Boll, who takes game three, and we'll be back for game four right after this. Back for game number 4. Things continuing here. Timo Boll with his first game. Just last game, we'll see how the pressure affects LIN Gaoyuan. Back edge of the table, Timo Boll taking the first point. It's not too often you see Timo Boll go for a behind the back shot. LIN Gaoyuan completely fooling him. Again, sometimes playing it to the less obvious place. LIN Gaoyuan had the wide forehand open, but saw Timo Boll breaking quickly. That was enough. Beautiful shot, LIN Gaoyuan on top of the heavy spin. Not bothered. In game 1, LIN Gaoyuan came out just the same, seeming very much in control. It was rallies like that last one that we saw time and time again. This is a smart play from Timo. LIN Gaoyuan has moved to the middle of the table. We saw it a lot in game 3. That reverse pendulum serve, shorter, half long to the forehand side. But his balance is a little bit different. He's got different responsibilities for covering the table when he serves from the middle. This is unbelievable. Timo Boll, I don't recall him lobbing once. We've seen him attempt to chop, but when he's behind the table, he immediately counters to get back in the points. He understands the pressure. He understands who's on the other side of the table and what it's going to take. The Czech Open, it was Shui Fei, penholder from China, that Timo Boll beat. Big comeback. I think he was down 1-3 to win in game 7. He's being tested with different new generation players from China. You can feel the frustration. Timo Boll has an idea. Trying to execute on that long push to the middle when he's brought LIN Gaoyuan over the table for the short game. Right idea.
4-3.
2 points in a row. He's had a good idea, but hasn't been able to put the ball down. Timo Boll, incredibly clever, incredibly wise in table tennis. Tends to be in the right spot almost, say, earlier than anybody. Oh, beautiful touch, a change of decision here. LIN Gaoyuan, without telegraphing, just decides he's going to drop play in short. Really quick, doesn't pull the racket back at all, and Timo, as he's backing off, doesn't have time to recover. Here's this slower, spinny shot. Again, it's all relative, but compared to the drives that we know Timo Boll has and we've seen come out of LIN Gaoyuan time and time again, this one is a changeup. Heavy topspin. Outstanding again. For LIN Gaoyuan to block these right off the bounce, he's really trying to find the middle. Timo Boll a good 2 steps behind the table, looping from both sides. Between every shot, he has to wonder if the ball's going to be a forehand or a backhand. It didn't look like he was moving too much, but of course the turn and not knowing where the ball's coming back. It's very difficult, and Timo ties up the game.
6-5.
Sounded like Timo was talking to himself a little bit down there. Didn't catch much of it.
5-7.
You feel for Timo. Table tennis fans around the world know when you get an opportunity. And you know, for a lot of table tennis fans, this is sort of like a video game where you're playing through one of these players. You know Timo Boll's capable of receiving this serve with the opening attack. But between a few receives that have gone long, from a long push to the forehand flip deep to the backhand and that opening attack, The score in this game could be very different if Timo Boll tightens up, makes a few of the shots that he's used to making. Quality spin and quality serves, though, from LIN Gaoyuan. So a 1-point game. If Timo converts the second serve, I think we're going to see some figurative sweating out here from LIN Gaoyuan. Some more tense play.
Let's 6-7.
Timo expressing a little frustration there on another let serve. Beautiful time for a long serve. He's having a conversation with some of the ITTF friends about Timo Boll's yo. When he cheers, you just really, you feel for him. You feel like he's not shouting in the opponent's face. He's just like he's earned the cho. He's earned the yo. Whatever it is he's saying, he's earned it. And as focused as he is this time, decides to put a little bit more spin on to make sure he gets the opening attack. LIN Gaoyuan patiently waiting, plays it down the opposite side. Now this is interesting. When's the last time you saw Timo Boll start to move in and come back the other way? This is a little bit of psychological warfare here. Where am I going to be? Am I going to come in for the receive over the table with the backhand? Am I going to be deep in the backhand corner? Clever tactics by Timo on the receive before. Outstanding play again, both sides. Timo forehand to backhand, fearless from behind the table. This looks like Timo Boll in 2005. Again, he's in incredible shape at 36, 12 years after the last title he took in Liege, Belgium. And counter-looping with one of the best in the world from behind the table, both sides.
8-9.
I just can't believe that Timo Boll can get so low. I mean, I shouldn't even start a sentence with I can't believe when Timo Boll's playing, but he turns his knee down to the ground to get so low for the shot before. Usually when you have to come up from that low near the ground, it's disorienting. The head can be a little bit light to keep your balance, but no, Timo comes right back, loops again, and ties it up at 9 points apiece. Every game from now, say from here on out, is the most important game so far. That ball came back off of Timo's racket so fast, I couldn't even tell if the first shot was in. But LIN Gaoyuan takes it, stays low, and plays the parallel shot, earns game point here at 10-9 in game 4. Oh, and he tries to snake it up. Timo can't believe it. An incredible rally and a fortunate break for LIN Gaoyuan, but these two players are producing some of the best points we've seen this tournament. What a finish. Does not go Timo Boll's way, but LIN Gaoyuan up 3-1, just one game away from moving on to the semifinals. Stick around, game 5 coming up right after this. So from cleaning the table to cleaning himself, Timo Boll, you can see the score right there on the digital score pad. Table tennis stepping up in the new digital age. New stuff happening within the sport in many different ways, but LIN Gaoyuan nonetheless leading 3 games to 1 as he waits for the fans to slowly quiet. Now, as strong as Timo Boll has been playing, he's countered a lot of these shots. He's got the racket head up high, short strokes. It's still been LIN Gaoyuan who's winning more of these exchanges. That timing, not so many players. Timo Boll's probably the only one in Europe who's consistently over the years been able to play at this speed and take the ball so early off the bounce. Compact strokes, quick recovery. That surprising long serve. LIN Gaoyuan starts to move in and then has to backpedal a bit to get deep to the backhand corner. Nice change of placement. Haven't seen a pendulum serve short to the forehand in a while. Comes off the table, maybe I should say half long. Look how low to the net this is. Almost straight side spin after its second bounce. Not a point dropped yet by Timo Boll. Now that's surprising. I thought that was the curse of the commentator. From this camera angle, it looked like that receive was going to be LIN Gaoyuan's point. That he'd have a third ball to dream about. LIN Gaoyuan chopping for his first point. So we've seen both of these attackers chop so far in this match. Although for LIN Gaoyuan, it got him the point. Still a long way to go. Timo Boll made a bit of a case, bit of a comeback from down 1-5. Now he's going to have to be on the other side, try to hang on, extend the lead. Wow. I think the first lob we've seen from Timo, a fishing shot, and then he lobs the next one. You can see the side spin there as it comes down. Drop shot's not easy to do. Call the backspin on this ball to keep it short. A little bit of side as well. Good touch from LIN Gaoyuan. Nice change of placement. The backhand out to the open forehand, and Timo Boll up 6-2. If you're a Timo Boll fan, sometimes you start to worry when you see him volunteering a lob a little bit earlier in a rally after fighting so hard for every shot. But he comes right back and takes the next point.
3-6.
It's a tough ball to get back for. Timo Boll turning the corner, chasing the next one as it bends away. Excellent use of the topspin coming in from LIN Gaoyuan. The backhand, a little bit of forward motion there to guide it out to the wide forehand. Add some spin to the ball. There's the spinny backhand. From 6-2, now 7-4, a big point here for Timo. Again, he was down 1-3 when he came back to beat Shui Fei, the up-and-coming pen holder from China. It's earlier this year in Czech Republic. As strong as that placement is with the parallel backhand, LIN Gaoyuan not fooled, not turning the corner quite as quickly. Nice side spin there on that fanning flip. So interesting so far, the first 2 matches we've seen of the TV day, the TV program. Ma Long and Koki Niwa. Again, the welcome back tournament for the birthday boy of yesterday, Ma Long, and now LIN Gaoyuan, the player that the world wants to see. Is he capable? Is his time now? If he wins this match, he'll face Ma Long in the next round.
6, 7.
But it's now or never. Timo Boll needs to win this game. If LIN Gaoyuan comes back to take it, it's the end of the tournament for Timo Boll. That is such a solid backhand. LIN Gaoyuan like a slingshot, just taking it right off the bounce cross court. So 3 points in a row for LIN Gaoyuan. He was down 2-6, down 4-7. And now eye to eye with Timo in game 5. Just missing on that hooking shot. Like Timo was almost giving a look to see if it nicked anything. From that far behind the table, again, talked about how Timo's energy, he's been battling. He's been a little bit tired throughout this tournament from the nonstop travel, from playing in so many different leagues, so many tournaments, so many teams. But in over the table makes that one count. It surprises me that he's played so many points from as far behind the table as he has. And managed to win a good amount of those points too. Of course, the closer he is to the table, the more advantage he'll have, the less time for LIN Gaoyuan to react.
Let's 8-all.
Oh, back edge of the table, but a solid loop nonetheless. Strong opening from Timo Boll. A very fortunate time to catch that back edge of the table. Make his ball that much harder to return. Spinny opening deep on the table. And then turns to take the forehand from the middle.
Let's 8, 9.
Oh, surprise! Where does this one come from? The backhand from the middle of the table right to the opposite side. Look at this one more time. How clever can you be? Bold play from Boll. I guess you could say LIN Gaoyuan got bold out here. Timo Boll got bold, and bold LIN Gaoyuan. Too many Bulls, but 2 game points. Timo Boll looking to send this to game number 6 with a bit of momentum on his side. Two bullet backhands from in near the table, but LIN Gaoyuan defends, ricochets them back. The shield against Timo Boll's backhand. Now, Timo Boll's no stranger to playing in front of a bunch of cheering fans for a Chinese opponent. Again, he's gone deeper against most Chinese players than any European in years. And the forehand, a break there. The apology from the finger right there, but Timo Boll will be running to his corner to talk to another Men's World Cup champion, Jörg Roskopf. 11-9, Timo Boll escapes, and the match you want to see continues. Game 6 coming up, Timo Boll trailing 2-3 versus LIN Gaoyuan right after this.
Next game, ball to serve. Love.
So Timo Boll back for game number 6 with a good portion of the crowd behind him. Again, playing in front of the whole family and fighting. Down the line off balance. Takes the risky shot to find the placement on the table. And the kicking serve drifting just past the edge of the table. LIN Gaoyuan slightly uncomfortable with the corner. Timo Boll is so clever. On and off the table, for that matter. Now, according to their last head-to-head in Japan, Timo Boll has only taken 1 game in a match off of LIN Gaoyuan. That was the 4-1 victory for LIN Gaoyuan. Timo Boll already surpassing that with 2 games. Oh, thought he might have had him fooled. A clever receive, but LIN Gaoyuan not turning quickly, waiting just a second longer to see where the ball goes. And that heavy side spin loop. First point for LIN Gaoyuan this game. No, he went the wrong way. Clever play. Again, you've got that backhand from behind the table, a fearless shot from Timo Boll. And typically, Timo Boll's outstanding at anticipating. He just knows the game so well. LIN Gaoyuan starts to move off balance. The more obvious shot would have been to hit it into the backhand corner, which is why Timo Boll moved there. Nice change by LIN Gaoyuan. Top edge of the racket for Timo Boll. LIN Gaoyuan starting to find some confidence. Again, when he gets loose, he's very tough to play. And this is something that it took Ma Long a long time to find. It wasn't until 2015 that he found the confidence, was able to center himself under pressure. Really learn how to make the game his own. LIN Gaoyuan is still quite young in terms of the Chinese national team. LIN Gaoyuan only 22 years old. Timo Boll's been chasing a lot of balls in this match. As fast as he is and as strong as those legs are, LIN Gaoyuan's been changing it up so well and really forcing him to take shots on one leg on the run. A good opportunity to see what the footwork is like, the balance for the players. This one's just too wide. LIN Gaoyuan gets it early in near the table while he's got the wide angles. Ball comes up just a little bit high. Still not an easy shot. LIN Gaoyuan making some magic there. Maybe magic's a little bit strong. I mean, that's the caliber of player that he is. Big point for Timo to come back into the lead. I've talked about the tired that Timo feels from all his travel, all his playing. I will say that physically, Timo Boll's in outstanding shape. I see him doing push-ups a lot right before the match. He'll just drop down and pull out a lot of push-ups. And of course, physical fitness on the Chinese national team is, I'd say, unrivaled. Again, the competition to be one of the big four, to be representing your country as part of the national team where it's the national sport in China. Very, very competitive. Creeping ahead by 1, the player who's leading is going to have to win by 2. Timo Boll looking to send this to a 7th. He was up in game 6 by quite a bit against Ma Long at the World Championships, but this is a different player. How much side spin there was, almost straight side spin like a UFO. Nice shot, parallel backhand. If Lin Gaoyuan can't see it coming, it's going to be very tough for him to prepare and get a quality shot back. Timo Boll does not telegraph. Almost until the point he contacted that. Rewatching here in the replay, you couldn't tell where he was going to go. Second towel break of the game and a 2-point lead for the German superstar. A player whose name you can mention anywhere in Germany. Chances are pretty good. Somebody will know exactly who you're talking about and say, ah, Tisch tennis? Just shaking my head with disbelief. Timo with these fast forehands, and Lin Gaoyuan even faster countering back. Well played into the body on the backhand side. So Lin Gaoyuan starting to get some wry facial expressions. You could feel it for Timo Boll in the receives earlier in the match. Having game point after being down 8-10 and coming up to 11-10 in game number 2. Feels like a whole separate match at this point. Feels like forever ago. And a surprise receive deep to the backhand. He comes in with that forehand flick and doesn't go for speed. He goes for placement and follows up, earns the backhand rip shot. This is an encouraging lead. In terms of pressure, Timo Boll knows well. Some players get a big lead and they soften up a little bit too much. Get careful. Pushed back off the table, forced into more passive play. Strong start to the point, aggressive, very positive play from Lin Gaoyuan. It was that shot, the touch right off the side of the table that got Timo Boll into the slower, spinny shot and allowed Lin Gaoyuan to come in on the attack. Now this is tough for Timo. He's had a few big opportunities here. And that was by no means a free point, but it was not a bad setup to get the third ball with the backhand that Timo Boll has. This is where a timeout would be handy, but it was used earlier in the match. Timo Boll from 9-6, now at 9-8. Second serve, needs to convert this. Lin Gaoyuan playing soft, but Timo Boll not bothered by the change of pace, stays focused. That backhand has been so consistent. Backhand to backhand, Timo Boll takes the point, now has 2 game points at the third towel break of the game. I feel like it's a game of chase my tactics. Try to catch the pattern. Timo Boll's played a lot of shots wide to the forehand early in points until Lin Gaoyuan started moving that way, and now he's changing it up again to go deep to the backhand. Lin Gaoyuan serve against game point. Outstanding point with the counter loops from the middle. Lin Gaoyuan fends off 1 game point here. Covering the middle there, so impressive for Timo. Very short stroke again, so he keeps his position here. Barely any follow through on the racket. But Lin Gaoyuan focused, agile, turning. 1 more game point to save here. Oh, break off the top of the net for Timo Boll, and it doesn't bother Lin Gaoyuan. He saves 2 game points. And now Timo with the serve. Deuce in game number 6. We've seen a good variety of serves from Timo, a lot of reverse pendulums. I feel like there was a good surprise reverse pendulum deep to the backhand corner earlier in the game. Let's see what he pulls out now. He's played bold, he's played fearlessly. Let's service. Wow, Timo Boll. Please raise your kids to be as honest and fair as Timo Boll. If you have kids, of course. Wow, the battle of nets. Your heart just wants to jump out of your chest watching matches like this. The tension builds. Look at this, eyes below the net, the intensity of LIN Gaoyuan. The net there, and Timo BOLL gets a net of his own, almost a third. And game point back to Timo BOLL, his third game point this game. Just long, a little bit wide there as well, bending away. Timo BOLL from behind the table plays one shallow and a little soft here. And quickly goes right back for the counter, trying to brush the ball and bend it wide. LIN Gaoyuan saving his third game point. But it's BOLL on the serve in the driver's seat to start the point. That is as quality a receive as you will get. Timo BOLL pulled out the serve, the reverse pendulum deep to the backhand corner, and LIN Gaoyuan not bothered. So fast and cool under pressure here. A bending backhand deep into the body of Timo BOLL on the backhand side, and now match point. First match point for LIN Gaoyuan. No, burns him completely, leaving skid marks on the court. LIN Gaoyuan, we saw Ma Long slip moving to the forehand before. Now LIN Gaoyuan appears to be fine. Not worried, he's young, fast, and healthy. The way he got up was just that of disappointment, not injury. It's tough, you've got some of the best flooring in the world and maybe the fastest player in the game currently. Rugo Jung there in the corner, trying to pump up his player. Again, a very friendly coach, a great relationship with his players. LIN Gaoyuan cleaning up the spot where he slipped, wants to make sure that does not happen again. I mean, if Timo BOLL's changing up the placement and the direction of the ball that quickly, it's going to happen. People will slip. Wow, the hooking shot from down below the table. Two in a row from Timo BOLL, coast to coast, corner to corner, both with the forehand. 36 years old and not afraid to run with the fastest in the game. And from saving a match point, it is now game point once again for Timo BOLL. And it's the decider. We're going to game number 7. Timo BOLL keeps it alive from down 1-3 all the way to the distance. The winner of this match will have won it in the longest possible form. Game 7, grab your snacks, tell your friends. Game 7 coming up right after this. And with the scores on screen right there, that only tells half of the story, which has definitely been a drama, suspense, thriller so far. We come into game number 7. Timo BOLL from back at 1-3 has won the last 2 games by only 2 points, saving match point in the last game. LIN Gaoyuan has to feel the pressure. Got a very free first point with that opening backhand. Now it's interesting, it's a fine balance for Timo Boll. You have to imagine he's giving everything he's got here. But tactically, sometimes playing the soft shots have been the best shots he's had. Taking a little pace off for placement. There it is, sets up that third ball. Beautiful forehand out wide, the LIN Gaoyuan's forehand side. For me, it's always interesting to think about what it means for each of these players, not just moving on to the next round, but in the big picture. LIN Gaoyuan just recently has cracked open the piñata, started his career on the international circuit. And Timo Boll has revived himself after knee surgery. I mean, really, he talked earlier about how people were asking him if he would retire, and he said after one of his matches in an interview, yeah, you know, I think I'm playing quite well, so why retire? Nice change of placement, LIN Gaoyuan mixing it up, cross court and then out to the forehand. So far the server, whoever's serving, has won every point in this game. This is two very focused players, really taking control from the get-go.
Let's 3-2.
Clever idea, ball sits up a little bit. Timo trying to create that wide angle with the mysterious, unpredictable backhand. First towel break of the game, and the pattern continues. The server wins the points. And continentally speaking, this is the home crowd for Timo Boll playing in Europe. But with the Chinese flag in the front row, it's really a strong mix of fans from all around the world here. Perfect placement right down the middle of the table. Sets up that third ball. Straight side spin, good length, forces a defensive receive a little bit late from LIN Gaoyuan. This is what players practice, recognizing if the serve's gonna say stay short, if they can flip it. Ooh, interesting shot there. That ball really took a kick off the bounce. LIN Gaoyuan hanging in for the slow spinny ball. Like he added a little bit of side spin on it. So the players will switch sides as one player has reached 5 points in Game 7 to make sure that they have a balanced amount of time on each side of the table. Now, there hasn't been too much pattern in terms of who's winning on which side. After all, Timo Boll won the last 2 games. Outside of game number 1, where LIN Gaoyuan wins 11-5, every game has been decided by a margin of 2 points. As quality as they come, LIN Gaoyuan reads the shot out wide, gets there to counter quickly. Timo Boll with the solid flip there, but still the element of surprise is going to be necessary. And he's changing the patterns just a little bit easier, I guess, for LIN Gaoyuan to see where this one's going than some of his other receives. Timo trying to get in, not commit too much to get back and cover. Felt like it was 3-4 just a moment ago when Timo Boll couldn't convert the point on his second serve, and now it's a 4-point lead for LIN Gaoyuan. This is where the mental toughness gets tested for both sides. quality, bending out wide to the forehand side. LIN Gaoyuan, if he's a step further behind the table, I mean, that's just going to be real trouble when Timo Boll gets his counter in. This is one thing the Chinese national team practices so hard, taking the ball early. And there's that bending backhand that Timo couldn't put down either. Still a ways to go, but a big point here. We've seen bigger leads recovered by Timo Boll. He was down 3-8 against Omar Asar in game 1 in Czech Republic. He was down 1-3 in games against Shui Fei, also in Czech Republic. Down 5-10 against Gustavo Tsuboy in game 1 here. And the face says it all. LIN Gaoyuan, one of 2 players in this tournament representing China, the most celebrated player currently in the game from China. Ma Long and the up-and-coming LIN Gaoyuan. Just too good. LIN Gaoyuan not allowing time. The pressure and the change of placement. As solid as Timo Boll is playing right now. It's going to be a very tough battle if LIN Gaoyuan can get shots like this in. That receive left a lot to be desired for Timo Boll. It is 6 match points for the Asian Cup champion of 2017, LIN Gaoyuan. Now, LIN Gaoyuan under pressure had a similar lead over Xu Xin at the World Championships and couldn't convert. 1 match point saved by Timo Boll. If I remember correctly, it was 10-5 for LIN Gaoyuan versus Xu Xin in Dusseldorf earlier this year. Xu Xin has been in the nightmares of many table tennis players, 2 times for Jun Mizutani. Once for LIN Gaoyuan. Now remember, we've seen 2 service errors from Timo Boll so far in this match earlier. But after a let service comes right back, a kicking reverse pendulum serve saves 2 match points. And the timeout for LIN Gaoyuan. Wow, talk about having a life raft when you're pretty deep into the ocean. He's not sinking, so to speak, very slowly, but this is late in the match. Especially with the Chinese national team. We see timeouts earlier and earlier in the match. LIN Gaoyuan with a very convincing lead early on. Man, is the crowd excited right now. I mean, these are the types of matches. I know I'm not alone in saying this, but I look at the lineup for the day, I look at the schedule of matches, and I say to myself, these matches are incredible, and these ones specifically should be exciting. But Timo Boll versus LIN Gaoyuan right now is delivering entertainment of the highest order. Whole crowd chanting here. So back from the timeout, Coach Liu Guozheng from China, trying to talk some courage, some finishing tactics into LIN Gaoyuan. We'll see what he comes back with. Look at this, Timo Boll waits with the wrist. He just waits to see and plays it deep to the corner. It had been trouble for Timo before in the receive. LIN Gaoyuan had been so strong with anticipating these. Timeout has not come into effect yet. A face that is adored throughout China. 22, but many say still looks 16 with 3 match points left. Once again, Timo Boll deep to the backhand corner. It's never over until it's over. But man, is this exciting. From 10-4 down, look at that complete stunned face of LIN Gaoyuan third towel break of the game, 2 points between them, and Timo Boll has 2 serves if he can get through the first. Wow, talk about nerves. Beautiful change, the middle of the table and out wide to the forehand. Timo Boll within 1 point of deuce in game 7. He's scored 5 in a row and is as focused as a laser right now. Talked about mental toughness. LIN Gaoyuan will not be able to sleep tonight if he can't take this match for the second time this year. Timo Boll saying, seriously? Come on. Can't stall here. Let's see.
Let's 9-10.
Jeez. Heart medication, anyone? Whoa, Timo Boll is back! 6 points in a row from down 4-10. This is not over. And I mean that for both sides. This is incredible. The crowd is absolutely loving it. And LIN Gaoyuan, no question about the way he feels out here. He beat Fan Zhendong recently, one of the most unbeaten players in the world. But despite having 6 match points, is now in a very, very thick situation with Timo Boll. Wow! Big point for LIN Gaoyuan. The receive once again from Timo Boll with that open face of the racket deep to the backhand corner. This time LIN Gaoyuan handles it. Watch this one more time. The opening backhand to turn on that ball so deep to the backhand side of the table really took some effort from LIN Gaoyuan. Appropriately asking the umpire, can I clean sweat off the table?
10-11.
I think some fans here are not thrilled about the time being taken, understandable. LIN Gaoyuan very focused, a 7th match point, and Timo Boll with the serve. Wow! Once again, back against the ropes. You should look at the body language of the crowd here. People just twisting and turning in their seats. This is where you're hiding behind your sweater. Some people just can't take it. One of these players will be able to. Still no clue who it's going to be if momentum is a thing. Timo Boll has more of it right now. Wow! The soft shot in this rally. Timo Boll slows it down just a little bit, and LIN Gaoyuan takes one extra step in the counter loop exchange. Look at that soft block from the backhand, and then quickly into the counters. Timo Boll, a blink ago, was down 4-10, and now has match points. Timo Boll, unbelievable match. From down 4-10, he came in tired and he leaves victorious. What a hero, what a legend. Unbelievable. Is this 36-year-old thinking of retiring? Think again if you have any questions about it. Timo Boll is back and an unbelievable performance. This is one of the best matches, and I say this in a year of table tennis. 2017 is producing incredible table tennis. Thank you, Timo Boll, and it takes 2 to tango. LIN Gaoyuan is going to have a tough night of sleep, but what a performance from both of these players. It's Timo Boll who moves on. There is only one Chinese player left. It's Ma Long, the dictator. And wow. He's going to be facing Timo BOLL later on in the next round. This match will not be forgotten anytime soon, and the scoreboard as high as they come. Man, get yourself a bathroom break, an inhaler, whatever you need. We've got another match coming up after this. It's Junmi Zutani and Simone Gauzy. You're watching the ITTF Liege Men's World Cup 2017.
Wow, what an amazing quarterfinal, ladies and gentlemen, Timo BOLL!
Timo, what a match. You saved 7 match points. You have all the experience. You've been at this level for many, many years. It's in Liege, maybe special place for you. How do you feel about all this match just now?
It was just crazy. But come on, this is my living room, so I had to fight, and thanks for your support. Helped me a lot today. I had a very bad start, and I just thought I have to fight here in this wonderful arena, and in the end I was just lucky.
I don't know, I just think it was amazing determination. Okay, so maybe you take a little bit of time to get over this one. Next, semi-final Ma Long. We remember Dusseldorf. You played doubles with him. Now, I know you're not thinking about it at this moment, but how will you prepare?
Oh, I think the next 20 minutes I will enjoy this victory. And I have nothing to lose against him. I will just fight like in Dusseldorf a few months ago. I was quite close, but he's the best player in the world. I have so much respect of him, so it's always an honor to play him.
Fantastic, fantastic. What a sportsman. The one and only Timo BOLL into the semi-final, everybody. Demi-final, Timo BOLL.